The purpose of today's meeting is basically to speak about migration, right? And we are going to speak about different migration pathways. We have our migration agent that is going to be joining with us very soon. And yes, today we are going to be talking mostly about migration. We are going to be talking a little bit about which courses will lead you towards migration, in case that you are maybe right now on a student visa and you want to know what courses you will be able to study in order to get PR. That we are going to be talking about that a little bit. And for that, we have the representative from QAT. His name is Eduardo. Eduardo is he has been as well in Australia for more than, I think, that 15 years. And he's going to speak for a little bit about the courses. And after, we are going to have Julia, that is our migration agent. She's going to be talking for around 30-40 minutes about the different migration pathways. And after that, we will just speak about some of the services that we provide for skilled professionals and how we can help you as well to achieve permanent residency in Australia. Then I think that we should start right now. Yes, do we have more people? For sure, we will have more people joining later. I'm going to start now. 1 second, I will share my screen.
Hello, I'm audible now?
Yes, we can hear you perfect, Ali.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Ali, welcome. Happy to see you. Ali is one of our students from Norway. He came here very recently with his family, and first time that I see you, that's very nice. We should catch up in these days, Ali, to go for a beer.
I will try as soon as possible, but I have a lot of things to do because I am manager fix something for my children. That's not ready yet.
When you are ready, mate. Okay, we will start the presentation now. So then the name of this migration webinar is Unlock Your Future in Australia. It's focused basically on that. Which doors can I open to come into Australia and to become a permanent resident, right? Then we are going to be talking about how we can help you and also how we can help your families as well. Like Ali, for example, that's one of our students. He came here to Australia with 3 of his kids. And it's a big challenge. We know that coming here with a family is not that easy. And Ali, you should feel proud of that. And anyone that is thinking to come to Australia with your family is a big challenge, but very well, you will feel much more grateful and much more happy in the future once you achieve it. Then, okay, what is the company? The name of our business, our company is called Monkeys. As you know, the reason why we call ourselves Monkeys is because there are no monkeys in Australia, right? As you know, Australia has many marsupials and different animals, but there are no monkeys. And for us, it represents us, the migrants, you, right? You come from different countries from all around the world. You take the challenge, you take the adventure, you take the risk, and you move to a country that is very welcoming and that is a country that has plenty of opportunities. But it's still a bit of a challenge, right? And that's what we are going to be talking a little bit more about that today. This is our purpose as a company. Our purpose is to support skilled migrants to integrate into Australian society. And as you know, when you move to a new country, it's not just moving there, right? You have to learn the language, you have to learn, you have to integrate a new culture, you have to get to know about the food change, even the water is changing, the weather is changing, everything changed for you, right? Then what we do in our company is to help you to integrate, right? And it's not just helping you with a student visa, but it's also helping you finding a job in your career, which is one of the biggest challenges that we as a migrants we have. We do that, and we also obviously help you with some coaching services and with some migration services, right? Then that's our purpose. Our purpose is to help skilled professionals like everyone, like you, to integrate into Australian society. Before that we start, I would like you to please follow us if you are not right now. if you follow us, next week we are going to be choosing the winner of a free consultation, a free migration consultation. Then please, if you are not following us right now, this is our links to our social media for Instagram and Facebook. So please feel free to follow us. Before I start, I would like to know a little bit more about you. If you want in the chat, please tell me who is here in Australia, who has tried already Vegemite. I would like to know who has been here in Australia and who also has been, who is overseas, which is a good thing, who is planning to come to Australia. Look, you are already here in Melbourne. Yes, we know. Nice. I would love as well, and we have a prize by the end of the webinar for the ones that they stay until the end. We have a prize that is going to be a free consultation as well for the ones that they stay until the end, and for the ones that they show their photo in the camera. I would love to get to know you a little bit more, which is for us is very important. We are very happy to organize these webinars for you. It's our biggest motivation is that you get the most from this webinar, but if we can get to know more about you, if you want, and if you are happy to show your face in your camera, we'll be very happy to have you there. Maria, you have been in Australia in 2022 and 2024 with your partner. Now, nice. Now in Colombia, I'm planning to go back. Beautiful. Okay, Jonathan, you haven't tried Vegemite, but you are currently in Brisbane. Why not? Vegemite is delicious, man. Especially when you have hangover, it's the best. Okay. And next one, we are gonna start with the school. The school that we have invited today is QAT, and Eduardo is gonna be talking with us for 5-10 minutes about what courses could lead you towards permanent residency. So you have a little bit of an idea in case that you are on a student visa and you want to know what options you could have from a student visa to maybe a graduate visa, which is one of the most common options, and it's one of the pathways that Julia, our migration agent, is going to be talking about. Then, Eduardo, thank you very much for being with us here today. We really appreciate your time. QAT is an institution that they have been for more than 15 years here in Australia. Then it's an institution with a long tradition. They have different courses like cookery, like child care education, individual support, and other options. Then I will let Eduardo please to chat a little bit more about that and how the students, if they study these courses, they could get the qualification that they need to migrate.
Hi everyone, how are you? Hope so good. So pretty much I'll make the presentation for the school. So the school in QAT, the school based in Brisbane, that we open in 26, and we're doing English courses plus vet courses. The vet courses are focused for this seminar. The courses from business is an option, cookery and hospitality, early childhood, and aged care. The cookery courses that we offer at the college, that's Certificate 4, Diploma Hospitality Management, and Advanced Diploma. And so you have 2 years of study here with us, you'll be able to apply for a postgraduate visa after you finish your studies here. In that case, Certificate 4 at Diploma Hospitality Management, you receive a qualification as a chef. That is a pathway leading to the PR. And the duration is 112 weeks. It's $20,000, the tuition fee. You come here 2 days a week, for a theory and practical, and you need to complete 360 hours to be able to graduate. These 360 hours is the placement that you need to do it. And also we have the advanced diploma that is running for 52 weeks, and the cost is 7,500. Also, it's 2 days per week, and you have the lecture and the supporting class. For the people that are study cookering with us, for the placement, we are working with some hotels, that Pullman, Emporium, Hyatt, Restaurant and Arnold, Mecca Bar, and Stanford. So as soon as you're doing your placement, it's an option that you will get pretty much a job with these companies as soon as you finish your placement. The other course that we have is Certificate 3 in Early Childhood and Diploma Early Childhood. This is to work in a childcare. And the Certificate 3, they're running for 50 weeks, and Diploma also, they're running for 52 weeks. Each course, they have a price of $8,500. That is a tuition fee. Also, you're doing 2 days per week, theory and practical. It is these two courses, you need to get at least 420 hours as a placement. That is a requirement to be able to graduate. Also, with that certificate trend diploma, so you complete 2 years education with us. Also, you'll be able to apply for a postgraduate visa. Same like cookering courses. We have an agreement with the child cares here in Brisbane to do your placement, and same than the cookering. As soon as you start your placement with this company, you finish your placement, the child cares, they will offer you a job. So it's also good option that a lot of people that enrolling with us, especially for childcare, because it's the main course that we have here in the college, and it's the strongest one because we have very good agreements and placements with a lot of childcares. The other course that also they can lead you to get some benefit for your future is Certificate 3 in Individual Support, Certificate 4 in Agent Support, and Diploma of Community Services. These ones also, they're running 2 days per week, theory and practical. You need to do your placement with 120 hours and 200 hours for the diploma. The duration for the Certificate 3 is 38 weeks. The tuition fee is $6,000. The Certificate 4 in Agent Support is 55 weeks, is $7,000. And Diploma of Community Service is 104 weeks, and the tuition fee is $15,000. All of these courses, they can help you to, if you want to stay here, they can lead you for a pathway for the PR. It could be with a sponsor. And at least you need to do one course with to be able to get the sponsor. For all our courses, cookering, childcare, and aging support, the requirement is 5.5 on IELTS. So if everyone wants to do the course, they need to provide at least this English proficiency, IELTS, PT, TOEFL, to be able to enroll with us at the college. And the intakes that we have monthly intakes for cookering, childcare, and aging support. So pretty much any time of the year, we're happy to receive the students. So don't worry about the intakes, but because we are flexible. And the pathway that we have, as soon as you finish a BED course at childcare or aging support, you can get a pathways with the universities. This Australian Catholic University, Southern Cross, USQ, Torrens University, Griffin, and the Hotel School for Australia. This is the pathways that we have for our best students. So, does anyone have a question about the courses? I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. By the way, everyone, if at the end you have any questions, we will have a questions and answer session at the end. Then Eduardo is going to be with us. If you want to get to know a little bit more about this courses option, then I hope that you enjoyed the short presentation that he did. Thank you very much, Eduardo, for your time. Really, we appreciate that. And now we have Julia. Julia is our migration agent in working with us with monkeys. And I'm gonna share her presentation. So Julia, please feel welcome to start. And I'm gonna share your presentation as well here as well. Give me 1 second. Julia has been working with us for the last year. She also has more than 15 years of experience working as a migration agent, which is a great guarantee for you. She also came here to Australia as a migrant. She's another great guarantee for you because she knows the whole process. She has lived the whole process. Then please, Julia, feel free to start and to introduce yourself. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi, Freddie. Thank you for introducing my work. Yes, my name is Ana Julia. Sorry, there is my dog in the background. I'll try to calm him down. I've been working in the migration industry for the past 10 years, and I've seen so many legislative changes. And I'm here today to speak a little bit about the Class 482 skilled in demand visa, and also give you some guidelines about the graduate visa, which is a great temporary visa after international students complete a course here in Australia. Then later, or even during the presentation, please feel free to ask questions or to put your questions on a chat box. I saw that Victor has already asked a question in relation to the skilled independent visa. We can also have a chat about that. Would you like me to start, Freddie? Do you have any?
Yes, please. No, feel free to welcome. Thank you. To start, thank you.
Okay, so we're talking about an employer-sponsored visa program. That's what the 482 visa is about. And this type of, can you move forward?
Yes.
Sorry, to the next slide. So this program involves 3 steps and also involves 3 streams. The first stream, not sure if you can move to the next slide.
Sorry, maybe I am sharing. Give me 1 second because maybe I will be sharing the wrong screen. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
Can you see it right now? Yes.
Just let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, just
okay.
yeah, that's not the one actually.
This one.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, so going back to this employer-sponsored visa, there are 3 streams: the core skills stream, the specialist skills, and the labor agreement. The core skills stream is the more used because it refers to the CISO list, which is a large list with more than 400 occupations that have been introduced in December this year, with a minimum salary of 70,000 and 150. The specialist skills doesn't require to have an occupation on the core skills occupation list, as long as the occupation is paid minimum 135K a year. And then we have another stream, which is the labor agreement stream, which is interesting for students who are studying aged care, for example, because a labor agreement is an agreement between an industry or individual companies with the federal government, and they have their own terms and conditions of employment, which are usually more flexible. Moving forward, this program, employer-sponsored visa program, involves 3 steps. So the first steps has to do with the company. The company needs to qualify as a standard business sponsor. And to do so, we need to provide the supporting documents to demonstrate that the sponsor is lawfully operating and the sponsor is financially stable and profitable. So to be able to sponsor an overseas worker, the company must be lawfully operating and financially stable here in Australia. Step 2, we can move to the next slide, involves a nomination. At this stage, it is very important to identify an occupation, which must be available on the relevant list that we mentioned at the beginning. So there was the CSOL list. And the company must demonstrate that they couldn't fill the position. They need to do what is called labor market testing. So they need to post 2 job advertisements for a period of 4 weeks to demonstrate that they couldn't fill the position with an Australian worker. They also need to pay a contribution to the Skilling Australian Fund and make sure that they offer to the overseas candidate a salary that is at least 73K, 150. But the salary must also meet the average salary of that particular local area in which the company is operating. So those are the first 2 steps: sponsorship, nomination. Step 3 has to do with the visa applicant, so with the candidate skills and qualifications. So again, we need to identify the occupation, and the qualification of the applicant must be relevant to that occupation. And the big change that happened in December 2024 is that they have reduced the work experience to 1 year. So if you have a relevant qualification, you just need to demonstrate 1 year full-time work experience. However, if in absence of a qualification, you might compensate that with more work experience. So for certain occupation is 3 years, for other occupations is 5 years. In addition, the visa applicant must meet the health and character criteria. What does it mean? That you need to provide police certificates from every country in which you lived at least 12 months, and of course, pass the English test. So the minimum to be sponsored under the subclass 482 visa is 5 in each component of the IELTS, or the same score in an equivalent test. The most popular test is definitely the PT Academic, which requires 36 in each component. So to summarize, being sponsored by an Australian company under the 482 visa usually involves 3 steps. The company must qualify as a sponsor, they need to nominate an occupation and post a job advertisement for minimum 4 weeks, and the visa applicant must demonstrate to have the skills through their qualifications and at least 1 year work experience, in addition to an English level, which must be at least 5 in each band of the IELTS or an equivalent test. This visa can be approved, it's not in the slides, but for up to 4 years. Here it is. Yes, it's the next slide. Great, Freddie.
Oh, sorry.
For up to 4 years, and after 2 years working under the subclass 482 visa, you can be nominated for the permanent visa, which is the 186. You need to be under 45, and to transition to the permanent visa 186, you need to have at least competent English, which is a bit higher, is 6 in each band of the IELTS or the equivalent on the PT. So going back to the transition point, if you hold the 482 visa and you work for an Australian employer on a 482 visa for minimum 2 years, after 2 years, the employer can nominate you for the permanent visa 186. Of course, you need to demonstrate that you have competent English. You must be less than 45 years of age. One thing that it's very important is that you don't have to work for 2 years with the same employer. If the employment relationship ends and you move to another company under a nomination, you can still apply for the 186 after you accumulate 2 years of work experience with 1, 2, or 3 employers, for example. Yeah, that's pretty much the main criteria related to the 482 visa and the transition to the 186 permanent visa. Any questions in relation to this particular program?
Is everything clear for everyone before that we move to the next slides? Claudia, please.
Hello, Julia. Hi, Friday. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Claudia. How are you?
All good. Happy for see you today. Thank you. I have a question. Where can I find the jobs list for the skill visa?
For the 482 visa?
Skill visa.
Skill visa, there are more than one list. There is the 189 list. There are different instruments. So you can find them online. You can search. And there is one that is for the 189. There is one specific for each state for the 190 and the 491. So you can go for the 190 and the 491. You can go to each state migration page. Or for the 4189, if you Google it, you should find the relevant instrument, which are also, you can find the links also on the government of the Australian government website, the Department of Immigration website.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Also,
welcome.
by the end of the presentation, we will be sharing with you, with everyone, we will be sharing this, the recording from this webinar. And also we will be sending you the list as well in case that you want to have a look, so we can facilitate it for you as well.
There is a list which is specific to the CSOL, which is specific to the 482 visa program, which we've just discussed. For the skilled visas, there are other lists which are separate, and they can be available through the government website as well.
Awesome, thank you. And I have other questions for the skill visa. The years experience have to be here in Australia, the experience, or could be in other?
No, you can use overseas experience as well as local experience.
Thank you.
They are calculated in a different way, but both can be used as long as they are in the past 10 years.
If you want, everyone, so
sorry,
maybe we can make it easy for everyone. Please write your questions down in the chat, so in that way we can filter them, and maybe we don't respond the same question every time. Then maybe in that way we can facilitate the whole process for everyone. Then please use the chat, and when we finish the presentation, then we have all the questions answered. Sounds good to everyone? Sounds good, Julia? Then I'm gonna share back the streams of what Julia was talking about before she comes back. We're talking before about the 482 visa, which is the skill in demand visa. It's changed, and now we are gonna be talking about the 485 visa, which is a different migration pathway here in Australia. Okay. Your microphone, and now good.
Yes, just to clarify, the 485 visa is usually used before a client receives a job offer for a 482 visa. So the 482 visa is the employer-sponsored visa that we just went through. The 485 visa is actually a visa that is available after an international student completes a certain period of study here in Australia on certain areas. So this is a great temporary visa. It can be for minimum 18 months, for up to 4 years, depending on the level of education, and allows the international students to gain local work experience and transition to another visa that can be the employer-sponsored visa or an independent skilled visa. So it's a great temporary visa to gain work experience and buy time here in Australia. And there are two streams. There is the post-higher education work stream and the post-vocational education work stream. If we look at the post-study stream, one is the one that refers to the programs that are at the university level, so bachelor degree or master degree studies. And their validity period can be for up to 2 years. For master by research, 3 years. For PhD, 4 years. However, if you study in a regional area, which means outside Sydney, Brisbane, or the other in Melbourne, you could renew your graduate visa for 1 more year. While the other stream, which is the vocational stream, it's for students who study trades course or vocational course in Australia, and all those courses must be for minimum 92 weeks. So once you complete this course, for the second stream, which is the vocational stream, you need to make sure that the program you're studying is related to an occupation present on the national list. So if we move forward, we can look at the common criteria. The common criteria are that you need to be at least 35, up to 35, you can qualify. Here there is a little mistake. You can be 35, and after, unfortunately, when you turn 36, you won't qualify anymore, unless you are studying a master by research or a PhD, and then you are allowed to apply for a graduate visa, even if you are over 35, up to 50. English test. So also the English test, it's a big component. You need to pass after you complete your studies in Australia, you need to pass the English test. And as I mentioned before, your academic period of study must be minimum 92 weeks. So this is the equivalent of 2 years of academic study. And you must apply within 6 months from the date of completion of your course. And also this visa requires holding any health insurance, which is not the same health insurance that you buy when you are an international student. It's just an health insurance for a working visa that is usually paid on a monthly basis. We can move to the next slide. And okay, here is just to give you an idea of the English required to be able to qualify for the 485, the English level that is required. IELTS requires minimum 6.5 and 5.5 in each band. You can also choose to do a PTE academic again. Some students have found that a bit challenging because the English test results now are a bit higher than in the past. So my recommendation is, while you are studying your program in Australia, just focus also on the preparation of the English test, because you don't want to find yourself at the end of your study program trying to rush to pass the English test to qualify for the graduate visa. Very, very important to keep that in mind. Can we move to next slide, please? And then when it comes to the graduate work stream, we need to remember that this is the stream for international students who completed a period of study at a certificate level, so trades qualification or vocational study. And you need to be able to validate your skills to qualify for this visa. So you need a provisional skill assessment in addition to the English after you complete your studies. And remember that your studies must be related to an occupation available on the national list, which is the medium long-term skill strategic list. So it is very important to distinguish the two streams. We have a stream that is related to university level education that doesn't require a skills assessment, but you need to have the 2 years minimum of study in Australia and the English competency. And that's the post-study stream. The vocational study stream is the one that requires also a skill assessment in addition to the English, and having studied in Australia for 2 years, a course related to an occupation available on the national list. So it's a bit more complex, the process, but it's very important to just plan yourself while you are completing your studies to be able to qualify for a graduate visa. And here, again, that's something that relates to what we mentioned at the beginning, which is the duration. If you study at a university level in a regional area, which is the entire Australia, at exclusion of Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, you could renew your graduate visa, 4A5 graduate visa, for an additional year, which is great. So if you already hold a subclass 4A5, so a graduate visa for 2 years, and you continue living in a major regional center, for example, like Gold Coast, you could renew it for 1 more year. Or if you study a bachelor degree, a master degree completed in other regional areas, you could renew it for 2 years for a total of 4. So this visa can be a really great option to gain experience and buy time to plan your next steps to achieve permanent residency, either through an employer-sponsored visa or a points-based visa, which are the independent skill visas. And here it's just a little chart that shows what we mentioned. So you first invest in your qualification here in Australia. Then if you qualify, you can apply for a graduate visa to gain experience. Depending on what you study, the duration can change. And while you're on a graduate visa, you can either receive a job offer and through the 4A2 visa achieve permanent residency through an employer-sponsored process, or skilled visa. So the skilled visa, we didn't mention this, we didn't talk about this program, but it requires a skill assessment, certain points to receive an invitation from the government. So this is a chart that shows the steps. It may take a few years, but it's very important to plan yourself while you are still on a student visa to make sure that you define your process that is more suitable based on your level of English, qualifications, and experience, and age, because age is also an important factor. Yeah, I think, Freddie, we can stop here. Here there is, yes, just a little case study that I'm happy to share. After this one, I think we should probably stop and be asked. Yeah, and if people want to ask some questions, I can see that there are a few questions in the chat box. So here is Vinicius. He's 28 years old. He has an upper level of English and experience as a plant and production engineer, 1 year of experience overseas. So he decides to come to Australia. He completes an English course of 6 months, and then he moves to a master degree in project management for 2 years. So that means that he qualifies for a graduate visa because he's doing a master degree of 2 academic years. And so he works on a 485 visa, which is valid for 24 months, for 2 years. And while he is on a 485 visa, he's lucky enough to secure a job and a sponsorship opportunity for the 482 visa. And after not 3 years, sorry, it's 2 years that needs to be updated. After 2 years, the company can nominate Vinicius for permanent residency to transition from the 482 to the 186, which is the permanent visa. So it's after 2 years, not 3, sorry. Yeah, so this is just an ideal scenario of someone who comes with a student visa.
And it's an ideal scenario that most of the cases for international students, they go through, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, even you can chat GPT the number of students that they go in this way, and the number is very big. Yes, and it's the most common way for international students to get permanent residency here in Australia. We have few questions here in the chat, Julia. I'm gonna stop presenting so maybe we can address all the questions from the students and from the guests. About the yearly income, Ali is asking how much is the minimum that he needs to demonstrate. This is the case for the core list, I think so, for the skills in demand visa.
Okay, skills in demand at the moment is 73,150, but it will probably increase from July 2025 to more than 76.
Okay. As the ones that are already here in Australia, you know that the financial year in Australia is every July, right? We start a new financial year. Then that is the reason that it's gonna be increasing from July this year. Okay, we have another question. Victor is asking he needs to obtain permanent residency through the 189 or the 190. He needs to improve his English, but he is assistant engineer for more than 8 years. Can we help him with that? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Victor. So we haven't talked about the independent skill program, the general skill migration program. We will probably do another presentation about that. But yes, for those type of visas, the first 2 preliminary steps are skills assessment. So you need to complete a recognition of your skills and work experience. And you need to at least achieve competent English, which is 6 in each band of the IELTS or 15 each band of the PT academic. So those are the 2 preliminary steps, skill assessment and English. And then you need to achieve minimum 65 points. But then it depends on which state you refer to. The 190, which is a state-nominated visa, you will need to see the requirements of your particular states. This is an invitation-based visa. So after you meet the minimum requirements, you need to lodge an expression of interest, and it's a selection process. You need to wait for the government to invite you.
Okay. Look, you have a question. You raise your hand, please.
Yes, so I was hoping a while ago to get in on the skilled visa. I had enough points, but I shot myself in the foot. I did a bachelor's in engineering, but then I switched over to a business degree for my master's, so I didn't get into that skilled visa of having a master's in engineering. So I'm here in Melbourne already on a working holiday visa, and trying to essentially get a job. Whether I think the only real option at the moment is to get an employer-sponsored job. But my question is, are there any other places I can be looking? Because I've been looking at Seek and Indeed, kind of the job boards. I've reached out to some recruiters as well, but I'm not getting anything back from anyone. I'm finding it really hard.
Let me just try to understand. So you have a bachelor degree in engineering, but a master degree in business?
Yes.
So you still have a bachelor degree in engineering, right?
That's correct. But when on the immigration website, it said that it's a partial degree in the field that I studied, which was electronic engineering. I'd need a full master's degree for it to count as a skilled job in the skilled visa category.
I will have to see, because where did you study? Did you study in the UK?
Yes, it was in the UK.
In the UK. How many years?
It was a 3-year bachelor's.
3-year program. So it's probably either a diploma level or the equivalent of an Australian AQF diploma or associate degree. It might be. So it's not at the level of an engineer. It might be of a technician level.
Yeah. When I went on it, they'd updated it recently. I think 5 or 6 years ago it did cover, but then they changed it and it only became a partial.
Yeah.
So I would have to complete another year here, of which I don't know if I can afford over here.
No, but in terms of employer-sponsored visa, you could definitely, there are a few occupations at the technical level, diploma level. Look, Seek, Indeed, Jora, Career One. I would also try the government website, which is Workforce Australia. But I would just look more for technical roles. I don't know, what is your experience beside your qualifications? Because you might be...
Yeah, so I kind of pivoted into project engineering and project management. I joined a small startup in the UK. So annoyingly, my skills are a lot broader and I haven't really got a specialized skill.
I see.
Which is why I think I'm struggling to find something.
Yeah.
Look, we are going to speak about a special program that we have, a special package for skilled migrants like you to obtain a job that hopefully could lead you towards sponsoring. But maybe let's address another questions, and after sure. During the presentation, I can show you what we can help you as well.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We have other questions. Is there any way for those over 35 that they can choose after an English course if they don't have a 7 at IELTS?
Is there any way for those over 35? What can they choose after an English course if they don't have 7 in the There are many programs that don't require 7 in the IELTS.
Yes.
It depends on your background, Ali. What did you study, Ali? I'm 38, and I have a bachelor degree in biochemical laboratory science from abroad. Definitely, if you are 38 and you hold a bachelor degree, the next step would be a master degree, which we know that is more expensive and not everyone can afford. There might be some other vocational studies that you could do, but you need to make sure that you can justify your need to do a vocational course that is at a level below your current qualification. I'm not sure from an educational point of view, maybe Freddie could help you to find a program.
Yes, we are going to have a consultation later with Ali because he also has some options through his wife. Then we will organize a consultation later with you to discuss about his options.
Just want to say that 35 is just for
the graduate visa.
National students that are planning to apply for a graduate visa. Because you are over 35, you can still do a master by research or a PhD, but it's a long-term commitment, and then you could also apply for a graduate visa if that relates to your question. I'm sorry, I don't know if that was really what you wanted to know, if you could qualify for a graduate visa. But there are only these 2 options: master by research and PhD. However, you can still study, anything you want after 38. The only thing that you need to justify your study pathway. If you are already someone who is highly qualified, you really don't want to go too low and do a certificate program. You want to keep, more or less the same level of education.
Okay. I think that for now, that is the questions that we have. I'm going to do a short presentation, 10 minutes, to introduce a little bit more about our services and also how we can help you through your different challenges. Then, as I mentioned, the name of our company is Monkeys. We have a team of migrants basically working with us. We have been working in Australia. I have been working with international students and migrants for 10 years. Before, I was working for different colleges and different providers. Then I got plenty of experience supporting everyone in their journey, which was very helpful, even for myself. Why choose Monkeys? Because sometimes when you go to an education agency, for example, or to even a migration agency, sometimes you don't see people that they have gone through the whole process. Then here you have Julia with us, that she has been for more than 15 years, plenty experience in the industry. We are more than confident that we can assess you in the best way. Then that is the best guarantee that we can offer you. We have all the experience and the knowledge about the industry that you need towards your plans. I can, as I mentioned, as an international student, had to reinvent myself, as you look, as everyone here. When I came to Australia, my English was very little. And first thing that I did, I was working as a swimming teacher for around 1.5 years. After I was working in an English school, and after I was working for a vocational school, ended up working for a Japanese company. And one of my jobs was to take Australians to study Japanese in Japan. And my job has been in the last 9 years about helping international students, even Australians, moving to different countries. Why Australia? But you know all that. For the ones that you know that have been here, for the ones that are planning to come, Australia has plenty of opportunities in terms of education, job opportunities. It's a place that you feel safe, and there are many career opportunities. I bet that you know, but here in the country, we are only around 24 million people, which is not that much if you compare. If you put it Australia in the map, we are even much bigger than Europe, right? Then Australia is a country that is built by migrants, and that is something that is one of the reasons why I'm so happy to live here, because it's a country that welcomes migration, right? We have more than 200 different languages that we speak here in the country, which shows how multicultural we are as a country as well. Obviously, Australia is as well a country that requires skilled professionals, right? And the migration system in Australia is very complex. That's why we need a migration agent to help us to navigate, because sometimes we make little mistakes that we don't realize, and that will impact our plans in the future. The system is very complex, but it's very well structured as well. And it has plenty of opportunities. It has plenty of visa options that you could be applying to. The quality of life, safety, climate is also a great option as well, the weather here. You have opportunities even during a student. If you are in a student visa, you can work 24 hours a week. After that, you finish the student visa, you can work full-time, and during the graduation time as well, you can work full-time. We have some packages, and this is something that we feel very proud of. We offer 3 different packages. The first package, we call it Chimpanzee package. It's the typical package that usually you get through all education agencies, that is applying for a visa, educational support, and welcoming you into the country. We have another package for the ones that are overseas and are thinking to come here. We help you as well with accommodation, with the travel arrangements, airport pickup, and all the services. And we have a package that is the one that we feel the most excited to offer to all of you, because we know that you have that need, which this package includes tourist activities, right? You need to enjoy the country. Australia is an adventure, right? You need to come here to Australia to have fun, to enjoy the country, to go around, because it's not just about work, right? It's not just about being obsessed with getting the PR, but it's also about enjoying the process. Then we also offer tourist activities as part of this package, but we also offer professional development, which includes a coaching session with a professional coach. During the coaching session, what we help you and what we do with every one of our students is that we help you to set a goal, because that is usually the biggest challenge that we as migrants we have. The first one is to integrate in the country, right? To kind of be part of this new country, to kind of be part of this new community. And the second one, right, is to work in our own careers. And to work in your own career, you need a purpose. That is what sometimes we lack, because we move to a new country, and before coming here, our main purpose was to come here. But once we are here, we miss that purpose, right? And that is what we do during the coaching sessions. We help you to set the purpose, a purpose that is very well defined, very clear, and very structured. And after that, we have a purpose, we help you to apply for jobs. Look, I'm sorry to tell you as an example, but your case is very, very common for many migrants here in the country. You come here, you are very skilled, you are very lots of abilities, you have a bachelor degree and a master. But the biggest difficulty is applying for jobs and getting into interviews, right? Usually that is the biggest challenge that we have. And very often it's because we don't know, for example, how to apply. Yes. Especially Latin American students, they don't know that LinkedIn is the most common platform to apply for jobs here in Australia. You were asking this question before. And LinkedIn is a great option, it's a great platform. Most of the job recruiters, they are there. But we don't know how to set our profile on LinkedIn, right? And sometimes we don't know how to create a LinkedIn profile that is attractive. Then this is part of the professional development package that we offer. We prepare your LinkedIn, we prepare your CV, we prepare you for an interview. We have had some cases of some students that they get the interview, right? And during the interview, if they are not prepared for the interview, it's not the same effective than if you were prepared. What kind of questions do I need to be prepared for? How to respond then? What is my body posture? How to answer the questions as well? How to connect with the people? One of the things that we should be the most proud of, and which I am also very proud, is that we migrants, we are very resilient. We are very hard workers, which in Australia is very appreciated, right? You know that in Australia we have a culture about taking it easy, which is nice because it's also about managing work-life balance. But we migrants, we are sometimes much hard worker than what usually Australians are here because they didn't grow up with that need. The Australians, they love working with migrants because of that. Yes, we just need to know how to connect with them during an interview. Then this is part of the packages that we offer. But we also do something that is very innovative. And look, and everyone here, Ali and everyone that is joining us and has been with us for the last 40 minutes. When you come to Australia, what is the biggest challenge that you have? Time, right? You don't have time to apply sometimes for jobs. You don't have time sometimes to look for jobs because you are already working, maybe working in hospitality, maybe working in a different field that is the field that you want to work. What do? We have a whole system that we have prepared, and my team is very well trained on that. We have a good system and a good structure that we help you to apply for jobs, right? We have a consultation first. We get to know what you want, what is the job that you need. We have a consultation with Julia to define what kind of occupations you need to apply for. And we do the whole process to help you to apply for these jobs, which it saves time for you, right? It saves time because usually you don't have that time to do it. Usually you are busy with other activities or even maybe trying to get some friends in the country. Then this is one of the differences that we offer in this package, and that is one of our goals as a company. We are not focused about having as an education or bringing the migration services. Even with Julia, we have this philosophy. We don't help 100 migrants. We are happy if we are helping 10 migrants at the same time, because that makes a difference, right? If we get to know you better, if we get to specialize, if we get to know specifically what companies you are targeting, what kind of jobs you are targeting, we can get to spend more time working with you. Then that is our goal. We are looking forward to grow with the people. Instead of just growing vertically, we grow horizontally. And this is one of the reasons why we are very excited to offer this package. Looking for a job and looking for a sponsor, often, you know, that is a full-time job, right? Usually looking for a job, you have to spend even more time than working, trying to find a job. Then we have some VAs working with us, and my team as well. They work in the Philippines, which it saves you time, saves you money because it's not the same cost, and which allows you to afford this package with us. Then if you have any question about this, about how we can help you, about how we can integrate you into Australian society, how we can integrate our different services, please feel free to speak with us. We are more than happy to support you in the whole process. Not sure if you have any question about this package or about our services as well. We have had very successful cases. Even I am proud to say that my own family is one of them. My family, my brother-in-law, my sister, they came into the country, and after 3 months, they already got the 482 visa, which is a great difference, right? And it's part of that knowledge that we give you. And that's why we have this family environment, right? We welcome all our students as part of our family, and that's why we are very happy, and that's our mission as a company. If you have any question about this, please feel free to speak. This is the contact slider. You can follow through our social media. We have an office in Bogota, in Latin America. We have an office in Philippines, and we have an office also here in Brisbane as well. Any question about this that I could help you with? We do, as part of the Homo sapiens package, which is good for you to know, it's obviously a challenge for us, because we try to get you a job in your career, right? And the job in the occupation that you need. Then as part of this package, we guarantee 2 job interviews, which is a great difference for you, because usually just getting a job interview is what makes the difference, right? Then as part of this package, we are also very happy to support you with that. I'm sorry that my voice is low. I was in the Philippines this week and just came back into the country, and I'm trying to adapt again. My voice is a little bit low, but feel free to ask any question that you have.
Freddie, just want to let everyone know that I have also shared the official CISO list in the chat box, which is the occupation list that is used for the sponsorship visa process, the 482 sponsorship visa process and the 186 visa process, if anyone wants to have a look.
If not, thank you very much, everyone, for being part of this webinar. We hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found very useful it. Sorry, my voice is quite low. Thank you very much for everyone to be here. Bye-bye.
One more question.